Welcome to Money Convos, where we discuss personal finance and investment tips. We're committed to helping people create wealth and achieve financial freedom. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. All right then, let's head into today's conversation.
Hi, Prince. How you doing?
Okay.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
A message on WhatsApp, no response.
Oh, really? Oh,
I
this one, they forgive me.
I know.
Ali, I have such a short attention span. It's so difficult for me to keep track with messages.
No problem. I think
yes.
when I text you on iMessage, you respond more.
You see that one. There's less noise over there. There are no groups sending incessant messages and things. So there's less to sift through.
I know, right? That's fine.
Yeah.
But I hope all is well.
I think. Oh yeah, all is well. They said winter is over, so spring is on now, and it hasn't snowed in some weeks, so the weather is good. Yeah, the weather is good. Wait, hello, Prince. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Saying that I was also listening to a news on your gun violence with these kids. Somebody going to shoot some kids.
Oh,
Charlie, this thing, when will it stop? Because last year it was the same thing, and I think president was like some reforms were going to be made on the gun purchase of guns and all that, but I don't know. Still,
this thing.
But why is it easily accessible over there to get a gun that anybody, even a child in the school, can get it?
Yeah, it varies by state. Some states have stricter permit laws. Some don't. So it varies. And when I listen to the governor, the governor of that state, his response was, now is not the time to talk about policies. Let's focus on mourning and praying for these people. And I realized that no, the battle is over. The battle is for the Lord. If this is the time that you should even be talking about policy, and they are saying let's not even talk about policy.
Yeah,
so that makes you realize that these people are not ready to change the thing. It's a very controversial topic. I can't relate. Coming from Ghana, I can't relate to why people have such easy access to guns.
Yeah, it's true, because it's even as parents. I mean, I was listening to one lady who was quite
Prince. I can't. Your volume has gone down a bit.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes. Please keep it this way now.
Okay, I was saying I was listening to one advocate, a woman who is an advocate against gun violence. I think CNN invited her to talk, and she was very worried about. Parents leaving their kids. In school, looking at what is really happening, that somebody can go get a gun and just come and, shoot. It's scary. It's scary. And most of them are people who are career oriented. They have to definitely let their kids go to school so that they can also go to their busy schedule. And if this is happening, it's a very disturbing issue.
Yeah. It's very bad. It's very bad. Oh, well,
that's fine.
We hope they resolve their issues.
Sure. Thank you.
Let me bring up Mimi and anyone else. I haven't seen Brian in a bit, so it's good to see Brian in the audience. Good to see Dennis and Mr. Beckley. Very consistent. Mr. Beckley, thank you for all the support. Almost every week I see you in here, and it's very good to see you here. Okay, so today's conversation, we are continuing with last week's discussion. Young people's dilemmas. Charlie, young people are contemplating different solutions to their problems. Prince, you sent us a bunch of them, and I really appreciate that. Last week we dealt more like the job, education, that side of things. Today we want to handle some more of the social angle. Well, not just social, but switch the focus away from job. All right, they should work hard, basically. Switch away from that and then talk more about the social ones. But before I get into the first question, let me check on Mimi. Mimi, how you doing?
I'm good. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mimi. I like the intonation in your voice. I can see that you are happy. What's today's date? Payday has come recently.
Oh.
Okay. Because there's more energy in your voice.
Yeah, so
See, you're not denying
may
this.
there be even more energy.
Amen. Sarah, if you are in a position to come up, please do join us. Dennis, you are a young person. Why don't you come up and join us in this discussion? It will be good to hear your perspectives. Okay, so let's get into the first matter. Somebody said that they want to buy iPhone, but they are looking for sponsor. So please, on the topic of iPhones, let's talk about it. And iPhones, I guess we can use iPhones to to generalize and talk about luxury things that people feel like they should own. Yeah. Any thoughts on this matter? Perhaps let me see. I think all of you own iPhones. When did you buy your first iPhone, Prince?
Okay, so I bought my first iPhone. It's been quite long. That was iPhone 5S, and I use it. Let me land it. I use it for quite some time, and it's actually. They said that the engine got dead and I couldn't use it again. Then I came back to Android. So I used Samsung S9 for a couple of times. And I'm back to Apple again. Yeah.
I see. So when you bought the iPhone 5, which year was that? And were you working or were you a student?
No, I was working. Yeah.
You were working. Oh, how many years of work?
It wasn't like I was doing some graphic designing, printing thing, which was bringing in something. At least a week you can go and print somebody's thing and get something small. Yeah, but I wasn't proper work like what I'm doing now. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then how long after you started formal work before you returned to iPhone?
I think it's been, let me say, 6 years now. Yeah. I've used Samsung for quite, because I wanted to get the latest one, so I just decided to give myself some time.
Okay, I feel you. In fact, in case anyone is listening and some of our audience would be wondering why are we making a big deal out of this, for some context, and shout out to my friend. My friend in the US, her name starts with F. And yesterday we were talking about some episodes she's listened to and just asking for my perspectives. Shout out to her. She doesn't want her name mentioned. Anyway, so in case anyone is in the diaspora wondering, what's the big deal about an iPhone? After all, you just pay $30, $20 a month and you have an iPhone. Ghana is different. It's different. You have to take block. You have to take a huge chunk of money. Sometimes more than your monthly salary, or even depending on if you are not gainfully employed, that may be 2, 3, 4 months salary to go and buy an iPhone. If it's the latest version, so it can be quite a huge expenditure. That's why we are talking about it as if it's a big deal. It is a big deal over here. So yeah, let's see. For me, I bought my first iPhone. Well, when I was in university, my father bought an iPhone for me. It got stolen in no time, in a few months. And then I didn't buy mine until 10 years later. That's after 2021. That's after 6 years of working. Yeah, after 6 years of working before I bought one for myself. But I must admit, I did buy an iPhone as a gift for somebody. I just didn't buy it for myself because See, there are levels to it. There's pedigree. People think that they've reached after they've bought iPhone. I didn't think I had reached yet. So that was my take on it. Mimi, how about you? When did you get yours?
Same as you, 2021.
So that's like after 15 years of working.
more like 30. Anyway, that was what I'd been working for about. This year will be my 10th. That's my main job. Not working in total, but a full-time job. And so this year will be 10 years, so minus 2 will be 8 years. 8 years. And
Mimi, did we lose you? Okay, so Mimi said 8 years. All right, great. Sarah, how about you?
Sorry. I didn't finish.
Oh, okay, we lost you.
My thing went off, sorry.
Okay.
I could use the phone for forever and not really be bothered. Normally it's my husband that would buy me a phone. But this time around, I think that I learned about Clubhouse, and I was using my husband's iPad then, and he was becoming difficult. So I had to get my own Apple device, and so I decided to get the iPhone, and that's my first time. I don't know about the second. I think I need to start wishing some rich people so that I can change my phone soon.
Okay, interesting. So you were patching on your husband's one. Okay, that's cool. Sarah, how about you?
Hi everyone. So I've never bought an iPhone before with my money, but I have used from 5C. I think I've used 5C, 6. I've used 7. Have I used 8? Yes, I've used an 8. And then I've used a 10X, and then 10 the X iPhone X, and then 11, and I think my current phone. Yes, I've never bought an iPhone with my money. I don't think I ever will. I can't afford it.
There are levels to this. Please tell us now, since the person who asked was asking about sponsors, so I think you are the right person. Please help us understand how you've never bought an iPhone before we come to the hustlers who will explain how our thought process behind why it took so long for us.
Coincidentally, my husband has been, say my boyfriend then, right, was a techie person, and he likes buying gadgets. So I just benefited from that. If I don't have a phone at the time, if I didn't have a phone, I wouldn't be bothered. But it is you who wants to reach me. It's not me chasing you. So hey, if you want to reach me, get me a phone. Yeah, it was that simple.
Oh, fine. This reminds me of the ladies where you start dating her. No, her birthday is next week. Those people, okay. So once you start dating some people and their phone gets spoiled, if you want to continue reaching them, you know what you have to do. Interesting. I actually have a friend who once told her sponsor that the phone he had bought for her was spoiled. So right then he went out, came back with a new phone for her. Must be nice. Anyway, so yes, if you are looking for sponsors, date somebody who can do this, who will sponsor you. But I think you need to be careful how some of these wishes go, because I know some young ladies that have gone to do certain things for iPhone. It's indespicable things. They are not happy, and funny thing is, in their 30s is catching up to them. Some of these attitudes are catching up to them. So if you want to get something, why don't you just plan the right time? You use a nice Android phone. These days they are also sleek. Get a nice case, wrap it up, wrap the phone to protect it. Manage that one until you reach a point where you can properly afford it without having to break the bank, without having to break investments, without having to think too much about it. If you can afford that at a good time, is way better than going to do some things. Anyway, so yeah, let's see, Prince, how about you? What was your thought process? Because behind not buying it early.
Okay, so for me, Eric, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so for me, I felt at that point, I wanted to accumulate some amount of money before I make that purchase. And also, I read something on some investment decisions that sometimes we take and we don't really look into it as to the impact that we are taking some of those decisions. So it's a book that I read where the author was it's about financial knowledge, and the author was like, when you are making a bigger purchase, there's something we call opportunity cost, and the opportunity cost, you are looking at if this money that I'm using to buy this particular thing, if I had invested this money, you are looking at how much interest you would have gotten on it, and how much interest the interest you got on it will also accumulate for you over a period of time. So it's like your money is giving birth to interest. The interest is also giving birth to another interest, more like compounding. So if you are taking a decision to purchase something huge, you look at that perspective. If it's something that you feel you can hold on and build a little bit up before you can get it, I mean, it's quite, because if you purchase that thing, it's like there's an opportunity cost. All the interest the money was supposed to get for you, if it was being invested, I mean, you wouldn't get it again. So for me, I felt, let me be able to get that money. And also, I have a principle that if I'm to buy something, I have to make sure that I have double of that amount I'm using in my account. That is a personal thing I do. Yeah. So if I'm to purchase something, I should have a double of that amount in my account. Then I know that if I buy it, I still have some money, I mean, with me. So for me, I felt, let me hold on. When the 14 comes out, then I just purchase it, and that's what informed my decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I was also gonna mention that thing about making sure that you can afford to pay twice for it, right? And that's something a friend mentioned, and it made a lot of sense. It gives you enough security, it gives you enough cushion, yeah. Okay, great. So, iPhone aside, any other luxury items that you think young people like to pressure themselves to get? Makeup, Gucci bags, perfumes. Prince?
I think, for me, I think in our time, some of these things are very rampant because especially the youth want to be seen in a certain kind of way. So they want to buy I mean, I don't blame them because they find themselves in a situation where I mean, guys are around, so at least they have to look good and all that. But I bet you that some of these things, the dresses they buy and stuff, it doesn't come cheap. It's very costly. I mean, I know Mimi and Seram can attest to it. Now, going to even do your hair, going to wash your hair, it's all money. You get it? Yeah. So I feel it's a kind of place the youth find themselves. I mean, if you find yourself in a particular way, a space where, I mean, the people around you, that is what they are also into, the likelihood of it affecting you is very high. So for me, that goes back to, I think previously we spoke about checking your the cycle of people you find yourself in. If you find yourself in a particular cycle where your friends are always trying to keep up with appearances, trying to get the new things in town, and they don't really care about the financial implication, you definitely, I mean, also fall a victim to it. And I mean, it will involve you in doing a whole lot of things that, a personal experience is, I've had somebody approach me to buy her an iPhone, and she's willing to do anything I want her to do for me. Anytime, anytime, any day. I wasn't interested. Yeah. So And I feel it's because of, I mean, the lady actually went to LKMU school. No comment.
You will be very steady over there. Which I've attended many schools. I don't know which of the schools you are talking about.
Your uni school.
Oh, that university, yeah, that's university. That is school. Please. You mean my undergrad, not my master's?
Yes, undergrad, yes.
Okay. No, there are levels to it.
So see, Legon, Premier University now we are almost.
Oh, which kind of premier? Hey, Charlie, I just went. Prince, when you were saying that latter part, I just bowed my head down. Like, hey, Charlie, would this be my sister? If this is my sister, like, what will I be saying? Hey, Anyway, it's hard. I know, right? Anyway.
Elihem, I just wanted to add to the conversation. I think sometimes it's easier to say, give advice when you are not like in a particular situation. I remember when I was in school, BlackBerry was the main thing. And if you know me, I'm not really like a young man from a hosa, you get it. But this time around, the pressure had, gotten to me. And so I told my dad that I wanted a BlackBerry, and he's like, cool. So I remember I was like 400 cedis then. So he gave me the 400 cedis. For some reason, I don't know why. I went to a shop in Osi to go and buy this phone. And when I went, they showed me this Microsoft phone. And I didn't buy the BlackBerry. I bought that. But I remember feeling like it was a bad situation. It was a bad decision because that phone, even though it was nice and all, still felt like I was like menkaho. You get it? And so I sometimes it's easier said than done that, take control of yourself, blah, blah, blah. But I like what Prince said about managing those in your circle. And I think that is very important because a lot of the time we downplay the fact that we are influenced by other people and we think that we are disciplined, we are strong. Just stay in the midst of, the wrong crowd for a while and you become like one of them. So the best way to move away from that will probably be to change your environment so that you stop feeling that pressure of, wanting to, belong. So I think that's one way of going about it. But those pressures are really real. Everyone just wants to feel accepted. Sometimes just having a phone and people being like, hey, what's so, BlackBerry or iPhone. I mean, it feels good. So let's just be very conscious, of the fact that as humans, we are influenced by others. If you sit down and think about why do I have the phone I have? Why am I working at this place? Why did I even choose this career? You may find out that somebody may have influenced that decision. And it's not that, you were so smart to have figured out that this is what you want to do without anyone, speaking into that. So just wanted to add that.
Charlie, Mimi, this thing you have said about campaign, you and Princess, I can totally relate. Even at my big old age. And younger people will be more susceptible to this. Let me quote the Bible at this juncture. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. You need to be careful who you hang out with. Just yesterday, I had a conversation with my best friend, I have to add this plug, Harvard-trained lawyer, you understand? See, we have a group of 3 of us. We have our WhatsApp group and we hang out every now and then. Iron sharpeneth iron. My best friend has gone to an Ivy League school. What is my excuse? You understand? Now we are giving the other one too pressure. He joined the Badgers last year. You understand? You want to put yourself in those kind of situations. When we were having our conversation yesterday, he was talking about what he would do if somebody gave him $10 million. Even without that, we're talking strategy, we're talking about things. And I'm like, after that conversation, I did not feel like going to spend any money. And it's about the kind of people you hang out with, really. And I'll expand it, not just the people you hang out with. Social media. When you check my Instagram, there are two main things that you see. Comedies and one other thing that I can't say on recorded audio. Just entertainment, you understand? I avoid Twitter because the Twitter timeline, because it's just a whole bunch of unfiltered opinions, and I would rather listen to people that I believe that they are professional or they are experts in something, so I'll listen to them. You understand? YouTube, similar, cars and comedies. You understand? We need to, even on social media, the algorithm will figure you out. So you need to understand, let the algorithm know who you are. Follow certain kind of things and follow certain other things. If something comes that you don't like, say I'm not interested in this, don't show me this kind of content. The algorithm will start understanding you and give you more of the things that you want. Same with your friends. You start hanging out with certain people. If you don't have values like them, guess what? They will also feel uncomfortable hanging out with you. I've come to realize something where when I came here, let's network. I came here. Why are we paying all this crazy money? For one of the reasons is the network, right? And I realized that I'm not so big on, lately, I've not been so big on going for these parties, which are effectively networking events. Because honestly, I don't feel comfortable talking around certain people. I don't feel comfortable listening to certain things that certain people would say. It's because certain people have different values. So I choose who I want to hang out with. I've come to know and understand, okay, this person's like that person's like this, and I avoid certain people. And guess what? Sometimes people also avoid you if they don't feel like you are aligned. So you need to be very careful. We're talking about when we come back to Ghana Christmas. And people are like, oh, this time you have to go to Bloomberg and things. And I'm like, bruh, why should I go spend way more money at a place that I don't enjoy when I can go spend way less money at Virgin City Pub and feel like a very rich man there, spending very little money? You get what I mean? But they're like, oh, but you make the money in no time, But I was like, bruh. At that point, I even stopped talking because me and this person have very different value systems. They are coming from investment banking and the money keeps coming in. And so the more it comes, the more they spend because tomorrow there will be more money coming in. I come from a wealth school. It's about what you keep, right? So spend time hanging out with those kind of people. And again, spend time hanging out with Money Convos. Come back here every week. Go subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. When you get on Instagram to Investment Friend, amazing content there. You can get one-on-one coaching over there. You understand? Spend time with people of like mind. In fact, if you are starting from a point where your mind is not okay, look at the people that you want to be like, the people that you feel like they have good mindset. Start hanging out with them, and then make that your circle. So yeah, that's my take on that. Prince, you want to add something to this?
Yeah, I wanted to say that it's very important, as you've said, in even me taking the decisions to purchase the phone. It's like you are hanging out with people who are always talking about this money can do this money can earn you this. You are reading books that people are showing you ways that you can make more on your money. I get in it because it's more. The more you keep, the more you can get more to invest. So I was like, do I use all this money to go and buy this phone? Like I went through a series of thinking seriously, and Sarah was ringing in my mind like, you are buying an iPhone, you don't have Apple shares. I think there was one of the sessions he was talking about. I was like, I immediately had to go and get the Bamboo app, sign up, and then try to purchase an Apple stock. I was like, I need to do this before I buy this thing. And this is something that ideally on my own, without coming together on Money Convos, listening to people and stuff, I could have not made an informed decision about it. I could have just gone to buy it. But if you are letting go 15K, 20. It's not a joke. I mean, you look at all the parameters that money would have done for you. So I think the people we hang out is very, very important. Yeah.
True, man. And yeah, I recall Serum said that thing in one of their sessions. Was it on IG Live or was it a webinar?
I think I joined one of their. He did a certain one session be earlier. I think it was Investment 101 or something. Yeah, I think I was on. And
it was during the stock class, and we actually did something on IG where I tried to simulate how much the iPhones that had been bought for.
Yeah, true. Yeah. I think
of the iPhones and its implications if I had invested. Instead of him buying me the iPhones, he had bought me Apple stocks. How much I would have had as it stands now. Yeah, so we ran those numbers and it was very sad. Anyway, I wanted to also add that, yes, I was happy Mimi talked about the fact that these pressures are very real. On the personal, I think during school, I fell for a lot of these pressures. Charlie, I would wake up at dawn and go and queue. There's this big hair brand that sells in December. In fact, I think twice a year or so. You'd wake up at dawn and literally go and queue because you want to equally rock the human hair and all that. And I find that even at this stage, these pressures still get to us. So personally, what I do is there are some colleagues that as I keep seeing their IGs, their lifestyle, because they are posting flashy things and all those, and then you start questioning yourself. Then you start thinking, hey, do I also need this? So I immediately unfollow you. Like the unfollow button is real. So there are people I know personally, not because I'm beefing with them or sorry about that. Not because I'm beefing or grudging with them, but I just unfollow them because seeing their flashy lifestyles on Instagram or in my face may make me take certain decisions. So the unfollow button is free. As everybody has said, define the people you want to define the people in your circle so that you are positively influenced other than negatively influenced. Now, a lot of people, young people, want to buy cars. Fair enough. If you can afford it, buy it. If your parents can afford to purchase it for you, let them purchase it for you. However, if you cannot afford, take your time. Make that your medium-term goal. I personally have never bought a car. I still use a car my mom bought up for me on my 25th birthday. I still, not because I can't afford to buy a new car, but I am prioritizing. And at this point, I feel like that car is still, although it is old, is still very handy. It's a utility. I can utilize it. So why do I need to bother and say that all my friends or all my colleagues have new car or in 2020 and I'm using a 2016 car? So yeah, that's just, it's all about self-discipline too. Thank you.
That's a trusty old car. It's a Toyota, right? Yeah. So I guess the next thing I was going to ask about was people wanted to buy cars, and we'll circle back to that. But yeah, I just want to reiterate, guys. The pressure is there. We know the pressure is there. Even at our age, we are still feeling the pressure. But Seram said the unfollow button is free. Use it on social media. You see certain kind of content that's coming at you, just unfollow, say you're not interested. Don't let the pressure get to you, and hang out with the right people. Also consume the right content. Even if you listen to money convos once a week, investment friend once a week, your mind will be kept right. Because I don't even want to start saying read this book, read that book. You have other things on your mind, no problem. But small you get there. Okay, so I guess another big purchase is car. Sarah had started. She's giving her take on it. Would anyone else want to go? Edem, I see you're having some tech challenges there, but whenever you can, please do feel free to come up. Mimi, let's hear from you. Then we hear from Prince on this issue of car.
I remember the going to Legon. I didn't go to Legon for my university. And so going to Pent and seeing those cars, I'm like, what do these people do? Like, how did they get these cars that someone who has worked for 10 years, prayer topic? And so let's leave that for another day. The thing is that when it comes to cars, yeah, it looks nice when you're driving a nice car and the rest, but it comes with a lot of expenses. Fuel is not cheap at all. Maintenance, one very annoying expense. Insurance, roadworthy, all those things that come with owning a car. So beyond even buying the car, have you thought about the associated cost? And are you really, really sure that you are ready for it? I think that these are some of the things that you can think about. I also think that as a young person, you think that there's pressure. But I think when you're a young person in school, you are working, like the pressure is not that bad. I mean, everybody knows that, you're a student. I feel like the pressure will become worse as you grow, and as you even want to settle down. It's like, hey, you want to marry this person or you want to settle down, you don't have a car, that kind of thing. Those pressures are there. So I feel like as a young person, something that we don't do a lot of in this country, we really need to invest in ourselves. If you look at yourself and there are other opportunities that using that money for can really, really improve your income earning abilities, why don't you look at that? Looking back, I wish I had taken business more seriously when I was younger. Probably I would have been, cashing in from both sides, or I would have been a CEO by now or something. Today I was asking myself that, so I can be a CEO. I was dreaming about being a CEO. Forgive me, I don't know why, but it's and I really regret as a young person not taking seriously some of the opportunities I had. I think if you have money and you want to, if you have money for a car, I think you should look at the opportunity cost, as Prince said. What other things can you do with that money that your future self will thank you for? You can still buy the car and still use it in a way that will benefit you, by the way. There's Uber and all that, so you can still do that for it to benefit you and for you to still get the value or the funds you get by owning the car. But I think that as a young person, if you have that kind of money, you really need to work that money to be able to make you more money. And then eventually, when you are at a point that you think you can afford the car without depleting all your assets or going back to square one, then you can get the car. Or even if you work in a good place, you can get the car on a good car loan for cheap and be paying it small. Or there may be other schemes that may make more sense than locking your lump sum into a car and being broke for God knows how long. So that is how I see it.
You're sitting in a nice car and then you're crying inside. You're broke. You can't afford anything else. Crazy times. Prince, how about you? Your take on this?
Okay, so Elike, for me, I also, it's good to drive. It's good to be in a car. But I'm guided by this. I'll share something briefly. I say that think about the opportunity cost as its evil twin. One of the beauties of being financially independent is that, by definition, you have enough money such that the power of compounding is greater than the opportunity cost you have to spend, right? So for me, I have had friends that have purchased cars that every now and then they are talking about how much. One will call you and say, Charlie, the people have revised their rate and now I'm paying more. One will call you that, Charlie, Prince, sort me out this, sort me out that. So for me, I feel it's good to drive, but do it in a way that you wouldn't hurt your account, because myself, I as I'm talking to, I really want to get a car, but sika ni din na sika we dey to investment mu a benya bibi was so, like, you get something on it. So why don't you and my personal thing too is to get double of the amount before I do a purchase. So for me, I'm not bothered. If I want to drive, I can always get a car to drive, but I feel that you should live within your means, where you purchase something that wouldn't dent your financial, figures. It's very sad for you to be in a car where, you are driving but you are not happy because you know that you are paying so much for the car, right? And looking at of late the interest rate too, I don't think even it's prudent for you to, going for a loan to purchase a car. And I always would, go by the cash is king. If you have the cash, you buy it outright. You are done with it. I'm not a fan of loan, so for me, loan is something I really don't. Unless I don't know, maybe I'll be doing some capital intensive project that maybe I'll go for a loan. But for now, I feel like if I'm to purchase a car, it should be cash, and I'm done. I don't have any hassle with any repayment thing. But for anybody wanting to purchase a car, at least we should look at the opportunity cost. If it's going to be more than necessary, I think you should put a pause to it and look at another alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. I'll give my advice in the form of my experience. We had a session some years ago, I think 2 years ago, where we talked about bad financial decisions. My worst financial decision I've ever made was related to a car. Young people, please buy a durable car, not a flashy car. Buy Toyota if you can. If you can buy a Honda too, maybe. That one is a bit pricier. Buy a durable car, not a flashy car. So after university, after my national service, I reminded my father that you promised to buy me a car when I start working. So how far? He got me a nice cute Yaris. Okay. In my home, my father has Toyota Sienna. In a different house. My mother has Toyota Corolla. Me, I have Toyota Yaris. The next year, I've got some promotions. I'm eligible for auto loan. I saved extremely hard. I said Operation Elantra. That time, this was 2016. 2017. Yes, 2017. And I got a twin, and I wanted an Elantra. I thought, okay, the auto loan is 40,000. The loan, it's 10% simple interest because of my employer. Meanwhile, I'll be investing at 18% compound interest. So financial move, sell my old car, pocket that money or invest it, and then use the auto loan to buy the car. So I thought my budget for the car was 45,000. Went to engage with this dealer. Oh, he kept bringing flashy things. Oh, nice things. Oh, see. You need, when you are going to make this car decision, it's not emotional. Hold yourself. Go with somebody who will keep you in check. Do all these things with somebody who will keep you in check. Not somebody who say this car is beautiful. I'm telling you. I went, as usual, most of us buy accident cars, right? They said, oh, mine front damage, but it's not so bad. Got mechanics to look at it. Oh, it's not so bad. Gearbox problems. And in fact, the delays with shipping it and all that, I ended up paying close to 58,000 by the time I was done. Something that I budgeted 45,000 for. But the car was beautiful. Like, not gonna lie, the car was beautiful. I see people, big men will see my car and go like, oh, Charlie, this car is nice. But gearbox problem, no problem. Managed it for a while. Paid mechanics to fix it. Boom, sport again. As usual, Ghanaian mechanics that you can't trust, and they weren't so great. Honda is not as popular as Toyota, which is like Legos, which they know how to do so well with. I had to sell the car for scraps for 28,000 cedis to go and buy another one. I went back to Mommy. Mommy, please, I need another car. She gave me a loan to top up to go buy another car. I'm telling you, it will mess you up. And I like cars. Right now, one of my concerns that I'm agonizing over is, okay, what car will I buy next? And you don't want to make that mistake. It's a huge chunk of money. At your age, if you buy a car, that's probably going to be the most expensive thing you've ever paid for. Next will probably be your wedding, then maybe a house or a piece of land. You want to make sure that you go for durable. I thought, if my mother even bought another Corolla, that was, she hadn't bought it yet, but like all of us will have Toyotas in the house. Fine, I should just get a nice Elantra. After that situation happened, what did I do? No one told me twice. I went to buy a Corolla. See, every 6 months I change my oil. Because of our bad roads, once a year I change the the shocks and those things. Done. Nothing wrong. It just keep going. You don't have to worry, please, young people. Else it will drain you. Don't do this to yourself, please. Anyway, so yeah, that's my experience, and I hope it's a piece of advice. Durable, not flashy. Okay, let's take a few more topics. Let's see. There have been questions about dealing with relationships and marriage and emotional expectations, those kind of things, those soft things. Oh, this when I was just about to call Sarah, I lost her on the thing. Okay, great, she's back. Because I know that this one day, Sarah, you and Mimi can help us out, and then Prince and I can handle the men's side. Please. How should young people approach this decision? Should they be just enjoying their youth, discovering themselves, or they should settle? They should look to settle for down. What are some of the things that they should be looking out for? I know that's a whole different topic that we need Paulina and some other relationship people to discuss. But from a money convos angle, what can you briefly say they should be thinking about and not worrying about too?
Anything, this whole marriage dating wahala. I'm not even sure where to start from. I think that as women, for some reason, I don't know about now because I'm not Gen Z, but as women, normally when we leave school, for some reason we start thinking about marriage, who to settle down with, and whether we would ever get married and all that. I think that you should have sort of like a life plan, or sort of like goals that guide your life in general, and not just go with the flow because we finish school, what's next? Let's marry and have babies, because I mean, after a while you realize that life is more than that, and maybe you should have just spent a bit of time investing in the other areas of your life, because those areas take a lot of time, like they take a lot of you. And so I feel like you should be ready for, I don't think you'll ever be like ready. But I think that at least you should explore a little. And by explore, I don't mean go around doing all sorts of things. I mean, just explore yourself. Who are you? Be on your own, like for a while, discover yourself. Maybe you've been dating, in quotes, rubbish people. Don't be in too much of a hurry to settle down for anyone just because you just want the Mrs. title. Date a lot more, get to know more people, get to know who you are, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Maybe it makes you a bit more picky, but you should also know what you are picky about, right? Like maybe saying that you like this one day, I'm just saying around with it, but maybe saying that you like fair people, saying that you like fair people or dark people. I think that, well, depending on you, you may go beyond that, because you may miss an opportunity to have somebody that is really into you, that really likes you, for some marriage data who fits your description but would harass you. As for dating when you are young, I feel like there's no hard and fast. I don't know. I feel like there's no, looking back, one thing I regret is not chopping some of the people I dated their money. That's one regret I have. I also regret maybe dating right after secondary school. That's when I started dating. And most of my dating experiences weren't intentional. It was either some guy was calling me too much, and I don't know, for some reason I ended up having a crush because I didn't know the formula for guys, or it was a rebound. I don't think I don't think anybody I dated was deliberate. Most of them were it just came up and we dated, and it was quite a trashy experience for most of them. So I think that we really need to get to know ourselves and so that we are more careful in who we decide to date. And maybe when you are young and immature, maybe try to avoid like being in a relationship with somebody, because broken heart is very painful. I don't know, but I remember I was in this Trotsky, and the Trotsky passed my where I was supposed to stop, and I was just there with serious broken heart. Like, for what? So I feel like, Charlie, save yourself that stress. Maybe getting maybe in mid university you can start dating around, start getting to know guys. Just date, like, don't be too committed. I don't know, let me be careful how I put it. Like, just get to know people, okay? Just get to know people, just get to know yourself, so that you know who you want to settle, with. But that whole heartbreak thing, some have sent people to their early grave. So I don't know. But also, I feel like heartbreaks also toughen you. So I don't really know where to stand. But I think that certain heartbreaks I could have avoided. At least two of them I could have avoided if I had not started dating as early as I did. It wasn't something I decided that maybe after SS I was going to date. It's just this one boy that kept on calling me free night calls. And then I just said, okay, let's date. He tended to be rubbish. So let's just be a bit more intentional with how we do what we do. And that's why we need to set goals. I think for a lot of us, we live in the moment. As things come, we do. Let's just be a bit more intentional, so that we avoid wasting our time on heartbreaks and missing our destinations because we are crying in a trotro.
Oh, baby. You've been through it, huh? Okay, I see. Before we switch to hearing from a male perspective, where I'll come to Prince, let me just give a shout out to someone who's helped us lately at Pearl_Ajoko. You can just check the reply to the tweet for this space. She helped us with a flyer. She did a flyer. So shout out to Pearl. Please check her out, and if you have any graphic design work that you need done, patronize her and she'll do a nice job for you. Okay. And shout out to Edem for linking us up. Yeah. Okay. Prince, how about you? A male perspective.
So for me, I feel in our time now, being in a relationship is the most difficult thing. I'm telling you. It's so difficult when you don't get yourself finding somebody who align with your perspective, how you think, your decisions when it comes to money, and how you see the future and where you are going. It's very, very, very difficult, right? So for me, I feel any relationship becomes very difficult when you tend to be in the relationship with the wrong person. Yeah. So if you are trying to be in a relationship, you should look at getting to understand the person, getting to know if the person attitude, the person's mindset and other things on related topic align with yours before you try to do it. I'll share a personal experience with. So the family.
Hi, Prince. Have we lost you? Okay, I guess we'll have to come back to Prince.
To link me.
Prince. Prince, can you hear me? Let me.
To another family. So.
All right, I'll just mute Prince and we'll have to circle back to him in a bit. Okay. While we wait for Prince, can you hear me? Okay. So, well, while we wait for Prince thing to get sorted, let me give a quick perspective from a man. Or let's see if Prince is back. Hi, Prince. Can you hear me? Hi, Prince.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm back.
Okay, all right. Please, you are going to give a personal experience.
Yes, so
you can pick up from there.
the family, my sister wanted to link me up with a friend's sister. So, like the sister comes to the house and like, oh, brother, dear me penasemo. And so one time my sister called me that, oh, Mimi see, ne, ope WhatsApp so yankwe say, ubetumi ne sister, if you can get something out. So we started getting to know each other, and at a point I realized our perspective were two different things. Friday night, he want us to go here. Hey, what is this thing, cry? So one time, I said, okay, he's wakasa sa like it's like okami, yeah, and I'm so okay. Let's go out and sit somewhere and talk. In fact, where I went, by the time I was leaving there, 700, ayira, hey. Meanwhile, Friday on my own, I can be home watching a movie or tutorial and then I'll rest. I wouldn't even step up. So I got to a point I realized that no, because her mindset and everything was about let's go here, let's do this. Oh, I want us to eat out. I want us to do this. And even if you want to do it once in a while, the person have an issue with it because she always tell me that that's how I was brought up. So if you really want us to take this to the next level, you have to also treat me how I was like. I was also brought up in a different way. We compromise when we get to a bridge, but if you are not willing to, compromise, then I bet you. And she's so emotional that small issue he can make it seem like World Cup. She can make you feel. Last time I have to go and who I beg me yes you like we should go out. I said I won't go. It became a problem. I said I'm a copacho because my sister was like, the young copacho na on pese on friendship ne best say like really you get it. So it got to a point I said like Charlie, this thing is not working out because my perspective was, and I told the sister, I put the sense said that no. It's best we will be friends, but having something to do will not work out. Yeah, so I told her that, and I think we are fine. So for me, I feel perspective is very important. You should get to be on the same line with the person you are trying to date. Their attitudes, their beliefs, their decision and the money part is very important because if you don't get somebody who is very prudent. I was reading. I was reading something, and the man said that I think I posted it last week that being with a good person is like printing your own money. I don't know if you saw I posted it on my status, and a lot of some of my big men came and they were commenting. Said, "Charlie Prince, what you are saying is true." So it's very important to get to know the person you really want to take things further with, and I believe if you do that, it will go a long way to help you. And I also feel that you should not put yourself under pressure to settle down if you find yourself not having the financial muscle. Everything in life now takes money. So if you think you are you want to settle, I think there should be some planning to it. You might possibly have started investing some years back. Definitely you knew you were going to marry, but make sure that you don't become pressured because your friend is getting married and pressure is coming from the family. You are the person who is going to get married. Don't enter into something and later regret that, I should have taken my time. Because the last time I checked in the Bible, anytime time became a problem, people ended up making a lot of mistakes. Thank you very much, Aleke.
They take do chairman. I can see them was laughing and them was like me, don't find my money. Don't find me. But they take do chairman. Please, you have been dodging them and they finally caught you. Mimi, you see what other mimis are doing? You see your biggest regrets. Other mimis are doing it well for
Charlie, those two boys, I should have chopped their money.
Okay, so let me give a quick my quick take on this, and then perhaps we'll get Sarah to give another perspective from a woman, and then we just take one more topic, and then we start wrapping up. So for me, my advice on this thing is like you heard what Prince said, and in addition, learn about relationships from people and sources you can trust. There are certain things that we are not taught. Money, that's why we are having money convos. Financial literacy, we are not taught this. I know people, investment bankers, finance experts, they don't know jack about personal finance. There are people in banks who don't know jack about personal finance. We are not taught about these things. You need to read. If you are religious, there are lessons in the Bible that can teach you these things. Find people that you respect if they've written books or they have conversations. Get closer to older people that you trust, not just any kind of deacon, if you know what I mean, but or any elder, not just any of those, they're proper ones. Then learn about relationships, because like Mimi was saying, there's no one hard and fast rule. It all depends, but there are many ways of doing it the wrong way. Now to the brethren, this I can speak for the brethren. Okay, brethren, Charlie. Not gonna lie, when I was in university, I was quite a good-ish boy. I was goodish. I was, and I'm gonna be crude because look, the man didn't want to hear this thing, so I'll say it as it is. I was broke. I didn't. What at all will I get to do with a girl? I had girlfriends, yes, but we wouldn't go so far. And I was thinking, let's wait till marriage, and then. After university, when money started entering my pocket, then my horniness increased. That's when like the horniness came. See, I'm telling you, that's a major reason why I got married early, honestly. As a young man, if you know yourself, you know how your hormones are acting, you know how your ego is acting, you know how your system is working. I know that you want to explore, enjoy life. You like variety. Yes, Charlie, honestly. It will serve you well to stick to one person, because with one person, you can focus. Imagine you are talking to so many people. The time that, like, if you joined in very early or you play back this, I was telling Prince, I don't even have the attention span to text people on WhatsApp. Time that you should be spending working, you are there texting people. Time that you should be resting, you've worked very hard. You are there texting multiple girls, trying to see what's up. Money that you should save, you are using it, spending it on dates, transportation, go here, go there. Charlie, I realized that no. I need to focus. I have enjoyed life enough. You know what? I need to focus. And I talked to some of my friends. They're like, they wouldn't have gotten to where they've gotten to in life if they didn't have that one steady girlfriend. All right. It's just having that one person that that your needs will be met in one place. Okay, it's better than running around. I'm not saying marry. I'm just saying, even if it's a relationship, just stick to one, because it can take a lot of effort out of you. Also, I personally think relationships are good. They keep you grounded, they keep you cheerful. But when it's going wrong too, it can spoil everything. Like you can be getting promotions at work, doing business deals, everything is going well, but no, because your relationship is not good, it can go from emotional, even affect you, drain you physically. Don't put yourself in that situation. Okay, choose who you want to be with the right way. All right, and then choose the right person. What I mean, back to my first point, learn about relationships, learn about how to identify who is the right person. So learn these things. You can't take it for granted. You have to learn to figure it out. Also, if whether you're in a relationship or not, or somebody's trying to pressure you, don't let anybody use their pressure to pressure you. Don't. Someone say by force, come date me, take me here. Like Prince said, you didn't let the girl pressure him. It's okay. Let's just be friends. If you're a young man, you are focusing on the things that you want to focus on. Do that. If you can. So I know some people who can't balance relationship with pursuing their dreams. If you are not that person, don't do it. You see, if you can balance, if you're like me, you can balance. Fine, balance. You understand? But don't let anyone give you unnecessary pressure and buy wig for me, buy this. Go and let your father buy it for you. Pardon me, I have to be crude, but some people will be making demands of you that their family never gave it to them. If their family was giving them that standard, fine, they should go and date their family friends' children, not you. You understand? Don't let anyone pressure you. When the time is right, when you've put things in order, they will come chasing you, my brother. I can assure you, they will come chasing you. You understand? So please, demand them. Stick to one as much as possible. Okay, and in fact, they're sticking to one more thing to add. When we read The Millionaire Next Door last year, they said that the millionaires in America stuck in one marriage all their lives. This divorce brings expenses. You understand? So think about fidelity. Reduce the risk of being in a situation where you have to be divorced or go and marry someone and you realize actually it's not working well. Nah, I want to take good care of yourself. Anyway, that's my way to the man them. Sarah, another perspective from women.
Yeah, hi, Elikim. So maybe a lot has been said. Just for the sake of time, I would add that for the ladies, yes. I personally was in a relationship. I think I started dating my husband in 2010. Yes, we were since 2010 and we got married in 2018. It was a crime. Please don't repeat that. Don't date. Dating for too long doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, and sometimes you feel like, okay, you have invested so much. Don't feel like you, because you have invested so much time or resources, so you have to necessarily marry the person. That's something that I've realized a lot of us are doing, a lot of people are doing. So as Elikem said, speak to people. Don't be coerced. Don't let someone's pressurize you. Don't be in don't but necessarily want to marry somebody because you have been dating the person for long. Me, I am now of the opinion that date different people. Elikem says the men should stick to one person. But yes, dating doesn't mean that you are being intimate or you are learning about other people, because it is by learning and networking and dating different people that you end up courting one person or identifying the person that you are most compatible with. So go on dates, in my opinion. Go on date people, but yes, and have fun. Don't let somebody's pressurize you because you are too young. Look, marriages are expensive. The fact that you've been dating someone for 10 years doesn't mean that the person immediately you get married. It's a different ball game altogether. Like, you, whilst dating, you were always putting your best foot forward, but immediately you get married, it's different. Like, it's very different. In fact, I had a shock of my life when within our first year of marriage, but for our counselors who had to come back in, and this is us who had been dating for 8 good years. So please don't feel like because you've been with someone for this long, you have to necessarily be with the person. And yes, don't stick in any toxic relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for that. I'm taking over from Elikem. We'll wrap up with the last question, which has to do with money and religion. So we'll discuss this briefly, and then because we have just a few minutes to go. So briefly, Prince, what do you think about money and religion? Or anybody who can answer.
Okay, so Mimi, for me, I think money plays a very important role when it comes to religion, right? Yeah, and I feel that the more you have, the more you can give to a worthy cause, to the church. So for me, I feel that it's very important that as young people growing up, we take decisions that can open up resources and other thing for us to give back to church, because I think it's quite a noble thing to do, and I think within that context it also open a lot of doors for you as an individual. Yeah, so for me, with regards to the payment of tithe and we trying to offer and support the church whenever there's a project for us to undertake, I think it goes a long way. And if you are in a position to do it, please do it. And also you can be able to do it when you have a lot of money. I mean, if you don't have money, you not even think of paying your tithe. You not even think of even going to church. Money plays a very important role when it comes to our service to God. Though most people will say, oh, it's not about the money. You come to church and do all these things. But at the end of the day, money plays a very important role. So please, let's take our money serious so that our relationship with the church and God too will be strengthening. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Serum.
And maybe I would go with the angle that, as one of my favorite speakers, Mimi, once said on when she was invited to the topic of money and God, or God and money. Don't give emotionally. Don't because you find that sometimes, yes, you go to church and then they are doing appeal for fun, and maybe you feel like, yes, when I get up, people will see that, yes, this person also day, or because it happens. In fact, I don't know about you, but me, it happened to me before. So yes, they call the 10,000s or maybe the thousands, and then you see your colleagues kind of getting up, and you also want to get up just to show that, look, you can also afford to give 1,000 cedis. That one, God will not even bless you. It is so if you want to give because you feel led by the Spirit to give what you yes, I know that, yes, God will bless us, and you have to sometimes apply faith and all that, but I don't know, it can be very controversial, but I budget a lot of things. I budget my offertory, I give my tithe, I have a line item for goodwill or other offertory for church in there. But usually when I exceed the limit, it's very difficult for the Spirit to move me to give. But hey, that's very controversial. Thank you.
Mimi.
Yeah.
Yes, I also wanted to say that it's also undertaking a worthy cause is also very important. So you can look at me as a personal thing. I visit the orphanage anytime it's getting to my birthday, just to go there to give them something little to support them. I think all these things come in play to as to the church. So I feel it shouldn't just be like everything is the church, because now the church there we are finding ways to take money from you, the audience. So if your heart is not strong, we will give you all the vibes to give us the money, right? So please, as Seram has said, I mean, you can give much, because it should be a cheerful giver. I mean, give and don't go and cry, but to give and go and cry, man, God will not even reward you. Thank you.
Thank you. Elihem, you want to say something?
Yes, I said I was going off, but this matter there, I have to say something. I was just having a conversation with my friend about it yesterday, and pardon my voice, I'm a bit of a hype in the weeds. So, but can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it's controversial, yes, but you know what? I'll say it. Be careful with church you go to. Honestly, if you are going to a church and you realize that it's more of a business trying to suck you dry, maybe you should give it some thought. Honestly, people are shrouding some of these things in religious sanctity. Touch not the anointed. Don't question the pastor. But come on, if people in the church, running the church, are becoming rich, and other people can't barely take off their needs, nah, is that really good? You know, I think that, especially as a young person, you want to be aligned with a church that also aligns with your values. And I don't think it's love to be making people to become poor. I don't think so. So I would just say, like Mimi said, don't give emotionally. Don't let people blackmail you spiritually. If you can't afford to do something, don't do it. And I strongly encourage you. Your choice of church is a choice. You were born in that church, you don't have to stay there. Maybe you've gone to a new church, the young people are giving each other pressure. Seriously. You know, and I was telling a friend a couple of weeks ago that she's looking for a husband. Maybe she should go to a church where there are nice young men who are professionals and blah, blah, blah. So that's another angle too. Maybe church too, you can look at it in terms of opportunity, in that opportunistic way. But honestly, the churches that are sucking people dry and church members are not getting any better, you really should avoid them. That's my take on it.
Thank you, Elihem. To add to what has been said so far, I think when it comes to money in general, it's been put higher, or it's been made more important than it should be. Money is very important. The Bible says that money answers all things. And I mean, it's not just Christians here. We may have other religions, but forgive us, maybe most of us are church people. But the Bible says money answers all things, but it says that the love of money, not, I've forgotten what I was about to say. The love of money is the root of all evil. I think that sometimes people love money more than anything and are prepared to do anything for money, and that's wrong. But at the same time, not being prudent with your money, being a religious person and not being prudent with your money is a lack of faith, because the Bible says that faith, what do you call it? Hey, my all my scriptures are missing. Faith without works is dead. Okay, so I think that it's very important that if we say we believe in a certain, if we say we are Christians, we look at those principles with regards to money. The thing about principles is that they never die. Once whoever puts it to work, they will benefit from it. So we need to start looking at these things. Also, the emotional giving is becoming a lot these days, and I don't know. But personally, if it's too much, I'll either not go for that particular service again, or I want to know that I gave because I wanted to give, not because I was forced to give. Because at the end of the day, like Saram said, you don't get anything out of it. So you have pressurized yourself, your money is gone, and you don't get anything out of it. So I feel like giving should be intentional. So if you think you have to budget for it, there are those 1 or 2 times that God may place a burden on your heart to bless one person or the other. But if you are fond of putting your laptop, everything of yours in the offering basket all the time, because you believe that by doing that you are buying God's blessings, then I feel like you may have to look into that again. And remember that it's not just about giving and being blessed. You have to apply the principles. You have to work. You have to save. You have to do those things to be able to make the most out of whatever resources that God places in your hands. So we have a lot more questions, but time is up. And I would like to say a big thank you to you all for joining today's space. As usual, remember to follow us on all our social media handles, Facebook, YouTube, our podcasts. And also remember to follow Investment Friends on IG, that's Instagram. We are having a real estate course for a very good price of 99 CDs for early bird. We are having an expert really go into it for those of us who have been thinking about real estate as an investment. So you can check out our page, and if you are interested in the course, you can sign up. But beyond that, we have a lot of content on there, so you can just check it out. If you need any extra information or coaching, you can let us know and we'll pick it from there. Next week, we'll be discussing something interesting as well. So tell a friend to tell a friend, and join us once again on Money Convos as we dissect anything money related. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our thoughts. I hope you learned a thing or two and start practicing. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. Do tell a friend about Money Convos so we all become wealthy together. Talk to you soon. Bye.